Hi everyone, welcome back to Cheese and Turtles. My name is Imogen. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 ways to glow up emotionally. If you are not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram and let's get started. So there's a lot of talk in general, in discourse, in culture, online, about glowing up physically, and that is very important because it's important to treat your body with respect and to, look good, feel good. But I think part of the glow up that is not necessarily talked about enough is the kind of internal glow up. How do you glow up emotionally? Because being your best self is not just about looking your best and feeling your best. It's also about being the best person that you can be from an emotional and psychological standpoint. So in this video, I just wanted to share 5 ways that you can glow up emotionally, and hopefully this will give you some ideas. And the first one is to learn to listen. So in case you had not noticed, I like to yap, I like to talk, I like to discuss and ponder topics and so on and so forth. But a big learning curve that I've had is that I needed to learn how to listen, because it is so easy for me to just get caught up in the yap and not actually listen, okay? So learning to listen is really important for a variety of reasons. Firstly, it stops you being confidently wrong. Now, I've been confidently wrong so many times in my life. I'm like, I know this, I don't, okay? So when you listen, you actually learn a lot, and that seems obvious, but another reason that you need to learn to listen is that it actually really improves your social dynamics, okay? Because when you learn to listen to people, people feel heard, and people feeling heard is a really good, part of socializing intelligently, okay? Because when people feel heard, it really kind of acts as a positive agent in conversations, because if people feel unheard, they're going to get angry or upset or sad. But if people feel heard, they feel listened to, then they are much more likely to view you and the interaction in a positive light, and things are much more likely to work. Okay, and I've seen this both ways round. When I feel listened to, I feel so much more positively about the other person, and when other people feel like I'm listening to them, they react so much better to me. Okay, so learn to listen and slow down and try and really hear what the other person is saying, because if you're like me, it is a challenge and it is something that you can practice, okay? But even if you are naturally someone who likes to talk, you can learn to listen. Number 2, be kind. Okay, this is a super obvious one, but this is kind of a basic tips video, so we're going with it. Be kind, okay? It just seems obvious. And yeah, okay, sometimes we all have bad days, and sometimes we have days where we're snappy or irritable or hangry or whatever it is. But if you can genuinely make an effort to be kind to people that you meet, it doesn't matter, maybe you hold a door for someone, or maybe, when someone asks you for directions, you give them directions. Okay, now don't be naive. Yeah, sometimes people do look to take advantage of you, and you should learn kind of the difference between someone who is actively in need of help and someone who's trying to take advantage of your kindness. And yes, that takes practice, but in general, it doesn't cost you anything to be kind. It doesn't cost you anything to say thank you to the bus driver when you get off the bus. It doesn't cost you anything to hold the door for the woman who's got a pram and she's struggling with the pram, okay? So it doesn't cost you anything to be kind in those instances. So whenever you can, just be kind randomly, because that makes you a good human being, and practicing it gradually makes it habitual. And if everyone did that, the world would be a much better place. It sounds idealistic, but I'm putting it in the video. We are glowing up emotionally. Number 3, set boundaries. Okay, I know I just mentioned about being kind, but a really important component of being kind is also learning to be kind to yourself. And you can't be kind to yourself if you're constantly running around, burning yourself out, people pleasing, okay? So you need to learn to be kind to yourself, and part of being kind to yourself is learning to set boundaries. And when I say setting boundaries, I've made loads of videos on this, so if you want more tips on how to set boundaries and what that actually means, go and check those out, because if I get into it here, then we will be here all day, okay? And I've got to set a boundary here that we are going to move on in the topics in the video. Anyway, let's move. So set boundaries, because once you know what your boundaries are and you are practicing enforcing them, saying, if somebody treats me this way in the situation, I'm going to leave the situation. Or, if somebody treats me this way, then I'm going to communicate that was not okay. And, those types of things, learning to practice them will actually make you a much more regulated person, and it will actually give you some space to rest in life, okay? Quality over quantity. this applies to so many things in the emotional glow up space, okay? It can apply to social interactions. I'm a huge fan of quality over quantity in friendships and relationships. I am also a huge fan of quality over quantity in hobbies, although I do have a truly astonishing amount of hobbies, so there's a little bit more of a grey area on that one. And I do try and, yeah, okay, I should probably embrace that a little bit more. But like, the point is, the quality over quantity mantra can be applied to pretty much anything in like the emotional glow up space. So whatever it is, whether you are trying to, you know, focus on improving your mindset, you can pick maybe 1 or 2 traits to focus on right now and just focus on improving those rather than trying to do 10 things at once. And I sympathize if you want to do 10 things at once. I understand. I am also a 10 things at once, achievements, all of the projects kind of girl, so I understand it. But quality over quantity is a really good rule of thumb, and it also helps me kind of slow down and set boundaries with myself, because that is something that I really need in order to avoid burnout, and I am kind of betting that you might too. So quality over quantity. And finally, the last way that I want to talk about to glow up emotionally is that you need to learn to communicate intelligently. Now, I started the video with listening, and I'm ending it with communication for a reason, okay? And that's because glowing up emotionally is, at its core, kind of all about the interactions that you have with the world around you and with yourself. And if you can learn how to listen, first of all, but also how to understand what your own internal monologue is telling you, and how to like really read your feelings and understand what those are and communicate intelligently. And that means being honest. It means wearing your heart on your sleeve when it's appropriate. Obviously, like, have some tact, and you know, like, different situations require different approaches. But I've been really trying to be really upfront with people about how I feel, about what my needs are, about, you know, just about like how I present myself to the world in terms of social dynamics, okay? And this can be anything from academic to professional to personal. It doesn't matter, as long as you act and communicate intelligently. And by intelligently, I don't just mean like you have to be super smart. Like what I mean by intelligently is that you have to approach it in a way that retains your natural curiosity, okay? You have to say, I want what's best out of this situation. How can I improve my approach? How can I make this situation the best it can be? How can I use my words, my actions, you know, my intentions, both in person or virtually, to really be honest about what I need in the situation and what my boundaries are, and how can I make other people feel, you know, comfortable and secure, and how can I make myself and others feel appreciated in this dynamic. So when I say communicate intelligently, what I mean is always be looking to improve your communication style and try and understand how to communicate better. Alright, that is all for this video. If you are not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye!